Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little heart. Now this heart is made with 2 half circles and 2 squares. Super simple. This is another example of it where I used 2 quarter circles and sewed them together to make the half circle and 2 squares. Either way, it's a great little block to get started if you want to make a heart. I made this variegated fabric today because I want to do some kind of ombre effect. I don't know if it's going to work out, but we're going to try. This is using my 2-inch template, or 2.5. This is using my 1.5-inch template. So today I'm going to use my 3.5. I've already got this folded over because this is how we're going to make a half circle. I'm going to speed through this pretty quickly. If you would like to learn how to do this, you can look at my other videos on this channel. So first things first, gonna take my template, line it up where I want, and in this case I'm doing a half circle. So I'm going to go ahead and slide the template off to get rid of this seam allowance that I don't need. And now I'll cut it. There's my second piece. So these will go like that. And the last piece we have to cut out for this heart is the square. Since we did 3.5 here, this is going to measure with the background on 6.5. So that means we need a 6.5-inch square to fit right in because it's a stripe, right? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Let's cut it out like that. Let's save that for something else. There we go. Now it's a color gradient, right? And then if we turn it, it looks like this. The only 3 pieces we need, the solid square here, which since this is cut with the 3.5-inch ruler, it will be a 3.5-inch square. And then my background pieces. So I'll decide what my background color is going to be and I'll be back to cut it out. Time for the background pieces. I found this cute neon neppy chambray that I'm going to use. And the same principles apply. I'm going to use my concave piece. I'm lining it up because I'm getting rid of this piece. Wherever there's a fold, that's where you want to get rid of the seam allowance. And cut the center out. Those go away. Turn my board and then give this a cut right there. You can leave the top and the side as wide as you want and square it up later if you would like. I tend to because it just gives me a little extra wiggle room. Now I did 2 at a time because I just recently changed my blade and I knew it would work. So this will go onto here. We'll glue baste it and then stitch it. Glue baste and stitch. And then we need 1 more piece of background. Oh my goodness. We need that little square right there. This is going to be 3.5, so I'm going to cut a 3.5-inch square. All right, now let's put it all together. Make sure we got it out correctly, and then we'll stitch it together. Just like that. There we go. All right, I'm going to film myself glue basting, but speed it up, and film myself sewing and speed it up. Since I cut it a little larger, the background a little larger, I need to trim it up. I'm gonna line, I know it's 3.5 inches. This is a 3.5 inch ruler. I'm going to line this outside edge up with a 1/4 inch mark. Again, this is all in another video. And I'm going to line that top with the 1/4 inch. And then I'll trim. Come back here, cut off 1/4 inch, line it back up with what I already cut off. And you can see I stretched the fabric just a little bit. No biggie, we just cut that off. That's the beauty of these templates. Gives you a little grace. Let's do that one more time. So now let's lay this out and sew it together. So I think what I'll do is sew this to this, press it, sew this to this, that to that. All right, I'm gonna speed that one up as well. All right, that's our simple block. So we've got her just like that. Here's that little one again. And then here are all the tiny little ones. All you need are 2 half circles and 2 squares, and you can make this heart